Hi, welcome to the fifth and final webinar on bush survival and managing in times of crisis. In this webinar, I'm going to turn my attention specifically to leadership and leading in a moment or time of crisis. Again, I'll put up a screen for you, or share a screen for you, with you. I mentioned before in the previous webinar about the importance of empathetic communication. And this quote here is from Theodore Roosevelt, who was the President of the United States from 1901 to 1909 and one of the great leaders of the United States. And President Roosevelt said, "People don't care what you know until they know that you care." And so it's very important in leadership that we have this as a central plank in our leadership style. That is, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. So what I want to do now is turn my attention, or to our attention, to a couple of actions you can take to ensure that you're leading to the best of your ability in a crisis situation. And I've taken these ideas from an interview with a leader in strategy and turnarounds, a managing director from FTI Consulting, who are global leaders in turnarounds and crisis management. And I thought you'd be interested in these. And I've got four of them. I've picked out four of them. The first one is you need to gather multiple views. As a leader, you will not be the font of all knowledge. There'll be lots of other information you need to be gathering, and it's important that you do gather this. And for those of you that are in my, or have been through my strategy unit, or the unit I teach in strategy at the Curtin Business School, you'll know that I speak of the story of the turnaround of the British steel industry and how one of the key elements of that turnaround strategy actually was developed by an IT consultant at the Clanwern Steelworks in Wales, just a small steelworks. So everybody has an idea that can be brought to the table, and as a leader, it's important that you gather those multiple views. Second is find people with the core turnaround skills you need. If you can't find the people with those core skills, you need to either teach them those skills yourself or find somebody else who can teach them those skills. The third is make the right promises. Only promise those things that you can deliver and you know you can deliver. So don't start making false promises. They have to be honest and thoughtful promises. And the fourth is build trust through authentic communication. And as I say, these have been drawn from a paper by O'Callaghan, where he looked at, where he gathered ideas from a leader in crisis management. I'm leaving that screen up for a moment because I think it's going to be interesting during COVID-19 for us to observe how our leaders are managing using these skill sets. And I think what you will find is that those leaders who have not built their leadership around these four criteria will end up by being proven the weaker of the leaders as we come out of COVID-19. So look, four ideas on how to lead in times of crisis. Before I go, I just want to raise one other issue with you, and it's just a couple of final thoughts on crisis. There's three thoughts that I want to pass on to you. The first is crises don't last forever. A crisis may appear to be severe, but it will not last forever, and no crisis ever has. The second thing is crises by their very nature have a high degree of uncertainty. And this uncertainty is not always on the downside, it can be on the upside. So just as quickly as things can go bad, they can come good again. And so you need to be prepared for those sudden changes in fortune that are actually on the upside. And then finally, opportunity arises from crisis. There's definitely going to be personal opportunities that are going to arise from this COVID-19 crisis that you will be able to take advantage of. But the other thing is, outside just the personal opportunities that exist, there's also local and global opportunities. And I think what we'll see as we come out of COVID-19, depending on the length and the depth of the crisis, we'll see a resetting of certain things in the world that are going to make this world much better. And I think that one we're already seeing is how our politicians, who some have previously denied or have been less influenced by scientific evidence, such as in the climate debate, the climate change debate, we'll see a change in their understanding of the importance of a science data-based decision making. So there'll be all these changes that will take place, and hopefully many of them will be for the positive. So look, with that, I hope you found this this series of webinars of interest, where I've looked at bush survival and how we can learn from some of the bush survival techniques in terms of how to manage in a time of crisis. If there's other subjects that you'd like me to cover, or you'd like me to go into more depth on bush survival, please contact me. If you've suddenly developed an interest in bush survival, I would highly recommend that you get in contact with Bob Cooper, who runs a bush survival school. He's an excellent person. His instruction is absolutely top-notch, and you can learn a lot from Bob. If you don't know Bob personally, or you can't find him, please contact me, and I'm sure between Bob and I, we can organise some training or something of interest for you. So look, hopefully if this has been of use to you, have a great day. Work through COVID-19 as best you can. We're all going to come out the other end, and as I said, there's a lot of things to be optimistic about as well as pessimistic. So look, with that, I'll catch you later on. See you. Bye.